Hey YouTubers, good morning, it's Robb. Guys, this morning, this video is going to be for people who are interested in woodworking. Specifically people who are newbies, who don't have a lot of experience, but have always wanted to get into woodworking, but for different reasons, they never did. These are some of the best designs I've ever run across for people to get started in woodworking. They're very simple, but at the same time, they're very sophisticated. It's not easy to make really simple, easy to make things. And this person hit a home run with this book. This is from 1980. It's been out a long time. You can still get this at your library. I'll leave a link to it on Amazon if you want to buy it. But let's get into the designs. The designs by Larry are really fascinating because of the things that you don't need. You don't need a lot of power tools. You don't need fasteners, nails, screws. You don't need glue. You don't need to do a lot of sanding. You don't need a lot of clamps. It's like, well, what are we talking about? That's not woodworking. Well, these designs are fascinating because they're held together by slots, and they all use plywood, either one sheet or two. And the different things, he's got a sawhorse. I feel incomplete because I do not have a sawhorse in my apartment. And you can make, on one sheet of plywood, you can make 4 sawhorses, or you can cut the plywood in half, make 2 sawhorses, and make 2 chairs. I'll show you in a second. He's got uh, he's got shelving units. They're very cool. One of my favorite designs is a small desk. He's got a drafting table that will lay flat or at an angle on top. A single bed with cabinets, a large 8-foot long desk, a round table with a centerpiece that raises up, a the actual double-sized bed, a table for children, a chair that at first wasn't my favorite design, and I'm still not sure about it, but he said it's very, very comfortable. It just does not look comfortable. But also it tips over if you sit at the very edge. So but still he gets 4 chairs out of one sheet of plywood. It's kind of cool. I'd have to sit in one first before I said I didn't like it, but um, the others look very good to me. He's got some planters with a light made into a lamp, and he's got a round table. I like the round table. I was thinking you could get some shells or ceramic tile or something, put on top, and then maybe add some clear acrylic resin to make a different surface. And you could paint the wood, make it different fake surfaces by the fake painting processes they use. Let's look at his book. He's got, first of all, he goes into the power tools needed. You will need a jigsaw and a drill. You don't necessarily need a skill saw or a router, but they would be handy. He tells you how to use them. He goes into detail about the supporting system to cut your wood, the different methods to cut your wood, the blades to use, and really well written preface to the book on how to use the power tools to make your furniture. But it's all very simple. This is nothing to be afraid of. Anybody could do this. These designs. He starts off with a sawhorse that is extremely simple, and you can get 4 sawhorses from one sheet of plywood. Or like I said, you can just use one half a sheet and then use it the other half to make a project. And his round table, it's very, very simple design, but I think you can even make it more interesting than just a plain wood. He's got a table with a raised center, which would be perfect to add a little carousel, a little lazy Susan there. And his chairs, like I said, you get 4 chairs out of one sheet of plywood. He did add a cushion. I just like having armrest. But you can't get too fancy out of just one sheet of plywood for a chair. Um, the compact desk. Oh, I forgot. When you start off, he recommends you make the sawhorse first, and primarily because you're going to be learning so much by just making the sawhorses that are fundamental to everything else you're going to be doing in carpentry and woodworking. You're going to learn how to make straight lines, how to make curved lines, how to cut the slots, and also you use your power tool and adjust it to make a bevel cut. Using those 4 different things, you can make so many items in woodworking, and they're fundamental. His compact desk, I like it a lot. I'm not too sure how his desk would function as a, let's say you were making into a wood shop desk. Sometimes when you're doing woodworking, you're using a different tools and you're going back and forth, and you could be jiggling a little bit, but you could add a piece of wood to the back of these to brace it even more, so where it would be rock solid. But that is my only quibble, because this is held together by slots, and there aren't any like angle brackets or anything to really make it super snug. I'm not too sure how well it's going to stand up to any forces that go back and forth repeatedly. Like you're using a plane or something. That's a very nice looking desk, though. The large desk. It's open and airy. I like it a lot. And all straight cuts, making the slots, and you just throw it together. The shelving unit would be very handy. There's places in the house, like in hallways or behind doors or stuff, that's wasted space. These would be interesting shelving units. You have a new apartment, you don't have any furniture, and you go and get a mattress. Now you don't have a place to put the mattress. It shows you how to make a twin-size bed with cabinets on the back. And same thing with the double bed. You end up very simple design, very sturdy, and a lot of storage. When you take up these pieces of wood here, you have a lot of storage down here. Plus he's got storage on the shelving units. I didn't care for the planter and lamps at first, but the more I looked at them, the more I liked them. I think you could add things to them too. It'd be kind of cool. And the drawing table, it will fold so it's an angle, not fold, but you can move it over the slots so it's at an angle, or you can lay it flat. So it's got different ways to hold the top of the table. The children's table I thought was kind of cool for little kids. I could see you putting like a little turntable there so they could play with something, and it'd be fun for the little kids. And so those are 12 very simple designs that you can make very quickly. And who doesn't need sawhorses? Also, the cool thing about starting off with the sawhorses, you can sometimes find plywood for free because it may have paint on it. Maybe the edge is chipped or something. And people are just throwing it out. Maybe it was part of construction at a construction site. And you can get a piece of plywood sometimes. Cut it up, make you some sawhorses. Didn't cost you anything. So I recommend you check this book out. You can get it at the library, or I'll leave a link in the video description where you can purchase it from Amazon if you want. But there's some really cool designs, very simple. And if you're interested in getting started in woodworking, I can't think of better designs. They're very simple on surface level, but the more you think about them, you can see how sophisticated and all the thought that went into them. And he's got some brilliant instructions in the very beginning on how to use your tools and make your projects, even selecting the wood. So it's a very thin book, but it's jam-packed. It's jam-packed. There's no fluff in it at all. So from 1980, pretty good. Hope this was helpful to you. You guys check out my videos. I put on new stuff every week. I've been doing it for 17 years, got over 1,400 videos. It's a variety channel. You never know what you're going to find. I never know what I'm going to make. I think I'm going to be making sawhorses. All right, guys. Take care. See you out there.